All right, we're back. Listen, everybody, Joey is still in Japan, but I think he's heading back today as we record. So he should be back next week. And next week we have a special. I got another special guest too. But today I got a special guest. I got Derek B back in the house.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, dude? Not to start off on like a bummer or anything, but the last time that you were here, we were talking about like kids and trials and tribulations and shit that they're going through. How's that situation going?
Man, everything's going great, man.
Oh, fucking
so it was mainly my daughter, my youngest daughter. Hey, man, therapy works.
Yeah.
I just don't want to downplay that at all. Therapy actually works, and I highly recommend it for anyone that's dealing with those type of mental challenges that whatever mental challenges you're going through. Yeah, definitely recommend it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's beautiful news.
It actually brought a remembrance to me because there was something that as an adult, I mean, imagine going through it as a kid, but as an adult, when you're going through certain things, you got to get that, you got to check in with yourself and check in with a professional as well. So I did it years ago as well. Okay, yeah. So I was a bit worried about it at first, but ultimately it became the right thing to do, and it actually caused myself and her mom to actually get along for the sake of this particular whole thing, and not saying right,
but still, if it makes it anything that makes it smoother is a better fucking thing. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, because there were things that we had to do to make sure that she was on the path of which she needed to go. So. Right. With that being said, she's doing very well, and
nice. I love that.
Extremely happy for check in at least every other day and talk. She's looking forward to a couple of things that we got planned for the year.
Cool.
And, but yeah, she's getting a whole lot better in regards to her space when it comes to how can I say it? Because she was dealing with, I don't know if you, have you ever heard of body dysmorphia?
Yeah. We did talk about that a bit.
So,
you think you're fat and you're not, or you think you're skinny or you're not, you think you're ugly, you're not, or whatever. Like,
so she's so that was
sometimes I think I got hair.
That was it. Yeah,
I don't. I'm always reminded by that pesky mirror.
So that's one of the major things that she was dealing with, and she's dealing with it a whole lot better now.
Well,
so
good.
She's still watching the things that she eat, and she's making sure that she's eating healthy.
Sure,
and all that type of stuff. And the programs that we got her in now, they actually provide like healthier foods for her and all that type of stuff. Man, it's like when we discovered all this, it's like we didn't know this is available. So, and I'll speak to this as well, because culturally, as a black man, as African American, we tend to not take advantage of these particular type of things, and we try to internally deal with it ourselves.
So I think that black people think that they are exclusive to that. But let me tell you something. Men do not play that shit. You know what I mean? Culturally.
Yeah.
The male, it doesn't matter what fucking corner of the earth your blood comes from. Men do not want to fold under pressure, generally speaking.
That's true as well.
I was about to say, I think I found out I'm African American right there.
But speaking the truth, because as talking to other guys like me, and it's just like, oh man, I don't want nobody in my business. I don't want nobody in my space. And when it comes to that, I got this, man. Because this is what I've been raised to deal with.
It feels like a sign of weakness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you can't do it on your own. You need help.
Yeah.
Right. And what man likes to ask for help? And like that, And then I've discovered at my age now, because I'm over 50 at this point, and it's like I've come to realize that, there are things in my life that I have no control over. Not that I haven't realized it before, but I realize it more so now because of the many challenges that I go through even right now, whether it be health, whether it be, finances, all that type of stuff. It's like all of that compiles into you having to deal with this thing on a daily basis, not so much as on and off thing. But I say I talk about the African American males because, as we tend to think that we are, tough enough we've been tough and taught to be stronger in these moments, and not have to rely on other resources, because there's a fear of it's going to get expensive. It's going to, take up a lot of time that you don't have and all that type of stuff. And that's totally not true. So it's like, now that I've gone through this whole thing, I recommend it to everybody. It's just like, if you find yourself in a spot, first of all, you got insurance. This is what insurance is. Take advantage of the resources that you have in your insurance, because your insurance actually pays for most
a lot of
this stuff. So, I don't mind paying $35 for every session that she has to go to. So, she can talk to a therapist. Of course, because that's what it is. Like, I'm thinking, because anytime you're thinking about a therapist, you're thinking like $300, $400 an hour and stuff like that.
Right. But a lot of insurance does cover it.
Yeah. But
and it's also important because a lot of the mental health stuff can manifest as physical health.
Yep,
stuff.
100%.
Right?
Yes,
So
100%.
You're dealing with stress, all day, every day. That's going to take a toll.
It'll fucking kill you.
In some other way. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So and it's nice to have, and as me, it's nice to bounce off of guys like you and guys that I have in my community that I consider friends and family.
Yeah.
And it's just like don't be afraid to talk about these things. Sometimes they have to be talked about, because sometimes you even have to hear it in order for it to make sense to you, in order for you to accept what it is. So
yeah, I always just say like I like, like when you talk about like, as a black man and this and that, like my general thoughts are just like, man, like we're so much more alike than we are different, and like every man I talk to has the same sort of feelings and, trepidations regarding shit like that. And like my wife, but I wouldn't have gone. I wouldn't have gone. My wife asked me to go. I went for like 6 sessions back. I don't know. It was after my grandmother had passed, and I was, I haven't fully recovered from that yet.
Okay. Right.
But she asked me to go for 4 sessions, and I went. And I was open and honest. Like I was a willing participant. Like I didn't like go in there and like,
Yeah, what do you know?
Yeah, I didn't come here. My wife asked me to. Like I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna fucking answer the questions and whatever. Yeah. And we did 4 sessions, and she said, "Do you want to continue?" And I was like, "No." And she was like, "Will you continue?" And I was like, "For how many more sessions we gotta do?" And she was like, 2 more. And I was like, "I'll do 2 more." And I did 2 more. And then she was like, "Do you want to continue?" And I was like, "No." And she was like, "All right, you don't have to continue." But me and the therapist, we reached like a chock-a-block. Like we reached like an impassable object, where it was a unstoppable force and immovable object. And we reached like a certain point, and she was like, she was saying like what I got to do to, and I was like, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. And she was like, well, if you're not willing to change, then this isn't the right place for you, And I was like, well, I'm willing to change, but you got to sell me on the change. I don't believe in the change, But I say all that to say this: it's not as though it was without fruit, Like it bore fruit. Like I took away things from those experiences where I was like, fuck, like that's a good point. Like I hadn't considered that. It's an interesting perspective. It makes a lot of sense to me. I'm going to take that and move forward in my life.
There you go.
Like I've said this before, but like, when my grandmother passed, like I was like, still every now and then it'll happen, but like, I would wake up 2 or 3 times in the middle of the night, like, and like have an emotional breakdown, and then I wouldn't be able to go to sleep. So I'd come down, I'd clean, I'd dust, I'd find something to do. And it went on for years, like where I was telling, like Laura was like, do you think you're okay? And I was like, I don't think so. Like, I'm pretty sure this isn't normal.
Yeah.
Okay. And she was like, what the therapist was like, like, part of the division of, when kids enter like, juvenile years or teenage years or what have you, is that they start to kind of push away from their parents to develop their own self. And then they usually come back to some close proximity. She was like, and it happened. She was like, this is a important part of individuality and all of these things, but it also prepares for separation, not only from the nest, but also from the final separation of the parents, from their kids, if things go according to plan, of course. And like,
she said, when you and your father reached that point, your father stayed the true course of who he was, and you ventured off as normal. And now you and your father are somewhat parallel, perhaps distant, but somewhat parallel. And she was like, but your grandmother, when you went on the exit ramp, your grandmother just hopped in the fucking, shotgun and rode with you, wherever you wanted to go. She was down to ride with you. And so psychologically, physically, like a 26-year-old man lost his 89-year-old grandmother, but psychologically, a 5-year-old kid lost his mom.
Right.
And when she said that, like, it fucking instantly made sense to me, and it doesn't cure it, so to speak,
right.
But at least I don't feel as insane as I felt before.
It's a confirmation.
Yeah. Like, okay, this is somewhat normal, given the circumstances.
Yeah.
I'm okay. It's just the cards that I was dealt.
Exactly.
So, but I took it with me. But we got to a certain point. She was like, my temper, specifically at that time, was it was like, I would just snap a fucking finger. It'll still happen from time to time, but I'm pretty much in control of it now. But she was like, well, look, when you start feeling angry, you just go do some push-ups. And I was like, listen, let me tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm going to push up on this dude. That's what I'm going to do, so to speak. But like, and the other things like my connection to family and how I treat friends, and that I have unrealistic expectations of responsibilities of friendships and shit and all that. I didn't disagree with that. Like I took a lot of that with me, even though I didn't want to go to therapy, and I didn't, but I did embrace it, and I was able to take some. So I agree with you that, like, I suggest that anybody that has the slightest inkling to want it, like, even if you just go for a couple months, you're not going to walk out empty-handed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you might have to pay your co-pays or whatever, or God forbid, the full price, but you're not going to walk out empty-handed. You're going to walk away with something. Even if you're super, like myself, like I was like, man, like, I don't know, fucking, what am I, Tony Soprano in here?
Right, yeah.
But I'm glad to hear that she's doing well. That's fucking tremendous news.
She is, very proud of her.
I also saw you booked your Bakan hotel rooms and such, and did all that.
So Bakan season is here. We in the midst of planning, got everything done, and made our announcements and all that type stuff. Man, it's going to be an exciting year this year. A lot of things are spinning off, and can't talk about a lot of it, but we did just announce one guest, Neil Ross, is going to be there.
Okay.
And it's funny because I was literally watching. I've been on this Centurions
really
marathon. It's on Tubi. A lot of shit is coming on Tubi now. It's just like
it's true.
Everything is on Tubi now. It's just like, okay, even independent films, TV, all that stuff. It's all coming up on Tubi now because Tubi's free. And I like free. And it's just,
if it's free, it's for me, they say.
Yeah, there you go. But I've been doing this Centurions marathon, and cool.
They had like the big monsters as the villains. Is that Centurions?
No. You're thinking. Who
am I thinking?
Inhumanoids.
Inhumanoids.
Yeah, Centurions is the
suits,
the guys with the suits and the armor that connects to the suits and whatnot. So
Ramen did like some toys of them, or
they did. That was their first
one.
Okay, their first run.
I
of
like their
toys.
noodles.
Big fan of their noodles.
But Neil played Ace McCloud in that show. So, and I had totally forgot about that. I was just like, yo, he did Ace McCloud, and I forgot how cool that show actually is, because that was one of those shows you just watched if it was on, and then you just sat down and just watched it. It wasn't like, like with Transformers, G.I. Joe, you knew what time it came on, and then you knew to be in the house at a certain time because that came on.
Yeah.
When Centurions and shows like that came on, you just happened to watch it and all that type of stuff. But
I had a hard time with like schedule TV when like figuring it out.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah,
I knew it.
I knew some, but like there was some like I knew Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wasn't gonna miss Transformers. Like, but some of the shows I bet, man, like I don't know when, like Mask. If I like turned on the TV and Mask happened to be on, I was like, oh shit, like we caught it.
Yeah.
You know, like, we got one.
Yeah.
You know, is how it felt. But like, you know, and my dad had me on all these extracurricular activities that I didn't want anything to do with. So like, my TV time was limited anyway. But like I knew like, and then I knew like a lot of times after, Transformers, or like that 4:30 slot.
Yep.
Then you start getting into like, fucking, what was that shit? With Rerun.
What's happening?
What's happening would come on,
or
regular, you know, or
those
that
shows
shit like
on.
that. Like, you know.
Yeah.
See, I feel like I watched more TV in the morning growing up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it was like parents would get me out of bed, like, you know, get ready, have breakfast.
Right.
You know, it was like Power Rangers was on at like 5:30 or 6 o'clock. And it was like fucking Maya the Bee.
Maya the Bee. I never heard that.
Yeah, it's a cartoon. Yeah, and then it's like I knew that we were late if Chippendale Rescue Rangers started playing, because I was like, we're gonna miss the.
I also remember like the Mario Brothers show, like being on in the afternoon, and like Friday was Zelda.
Yeah,
you know, and I was always furious because I had a Taekwondo on Fridays, and like I'd always miss the fucking Zelda episode. But yeah, anyway, I'm sorry to cut you off, but
no, that's all cool, because I remember those times, because you know, those are also the times that, you know, my dad and I will fight over the VCR, because you know, I wanted to record my shows, and then on the weekends he wanted to record sports and all that type of stuff, and then I was like, okay, you know. And then I remember one time I got in trouble. I got my ass beat about this too. I took one of his tapes. I wasn't paying attention. I took one of his tapes and then used it to record on my shows. And he had it was the NBA finals during that time was like church, you know. And this is during the time where, you know, this was when I want to say. Magic and the Lakers was they were going through the playoffs at the time against.
I mean, I feel like the Lakers were like always fucking in the playoffs.
And you know, I took that tape and I recorded over it. I was like not paying attention to that. I don't know what I was thinking about. And then, you know, because Transformers also came on Sunday mornings too, so it's just like, okay, before we went to church, we always went. I watched Transformers. And Transformers, Robotech, all that before we went to church and whatnot.
Do you remember when Transformers came on the Sci-Fi Channel?
Yes,
it was like in the 90s. Like it was, like
it was like. Well, that was when I was older. I ain't give a fuck about that VCR. So, but you know, because Sci-Fi Channel, they brought on Transformers. They had Bionic 6. They had. It was a couple other shows, but you know, Bionic 6 and Transformers was the main ones I was watching that morning.
I used to tape those because like I missed a whole bunch of them when I was like,
it was when I was Sci-Fi Cartoon Quest.
Yeah. It had like the bumpers were different.
Yes.
It was like and like I had I used to tape them because when I was a kid I would only catch like bits and pieces of episodes. I usually had to rent the fucking videos because I was in Taekwondo Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, baseball Tuesday, Thursday, and like I just didn't have the fucking opportunity. So like I had a videotape that I would put in the VCR and fucking record because I had to leave for school before the show ended. So I would record the episode and then it would just record Sci-Fi all day. Stop, rewind back to the beginning, you know, when it ran out of tape. And then when I got home, I just had to find the episode, watch it, and then hit pause again and get ready to record it the next day, you know, so that it was lined up. But it was huge for me.
I used, I had a VCR, I had a duplicator at the time as well. So I used to record, I recorded.
I'll get you one.
I had recorded all of season 1, 2, 3, and 4 when it came on Cartoon Quest. And I would take them and then later edit. I would try to edit out the commercial, like, you know, you hit the pause,
right?
And then when the commercial came off, you unpause and all of that. I made an entire library and actually sold them.
Really?
You know,
That's
on
cool.
And this is the AOL days when, you know, we had AOL, the free, you know, and we had our groups. And this is when I met Ben Yee.
Oh, okay,
He had the groups going on, and then I'd be like, yo, if y'all want the whole series, I got them on VCR, I got them on tape.
Right.
And then I would make tapes for that. It was like 12, 13 VCR tapes. And I would sell them mugs for it was like $50 at the time. So, cause it was like the cost of the tapes plus the shipping and all that stuff. Because I ain't really trying to make no money off of that. And then I may have sold like 6 or 7 sets.
That's
at
awesome.
the time. So that was my first introduction to eBay and all that type of stuff too. So it was a great hustle at the time. But then they started coming out with DVD
and the Rhino stuff. Yeah.
And that was like, okay, that's the end of that run.
I was hype over that. Like the box sets that silver.
Yep. And
had like an animation cell.
The animation cells. Yeah, that was great. Yeah. So it came with those. I still have those.
I do too.
But yeah, man, I'll never in my life ever sell those. Now they made them after that too. As a matter of fact, you remember they made a box set.
The Matrix. I have that too.
Yes. They did the G.I. Joe.
The paper sleeves were dog shit for that fucking Matrix. Like they fell apart, they tore. Like I have it still, but it's like the fucking disc barely fit in there because the shit's all falling apart. So it slides out. It doesn't
man. I actually that box set. When I would go to conventions, I would have voice actors sign.
Oh no shit!
And in the middle Matrix part, I got Peter Cullen, Frank Welker, and I got Dan Gilvezan in that middle part.
That's cool.
But everybody else is on the side. And they was like, "You can't sign that." I said, "Nope, you sign around as much." Them the only 3 I'm going to have in that middle part because there's a purpose for that,
right?
So, so
that's cool.
But yeah, but where were we going with that? Oh yeah, we was talking about the Centurions,
right?
So, Neil Ross was in that, and I was like, I was it got me thinking. I was just like, oh man, it's like, when you think about Transformers, you think about these voice actors, all you think about is what they did in Transformers. You don't remember that they done a whole other body of work and everything. So it's just like, okay, I'm going to be excited to talk to him about that when I get to the show this year. But yeah, I'm excited about BotCon this year. It's been crazy exciting every year, and it's just like
cool.
This year should be no different.
Awesome.
We're going to be at the Chicago. We're going to be in Chicago at the Schaumburg Convention Center this year, and it's going to be a nice venue for that one as well.
That's awesome.
I'm loving the fact that we're doing convention centers because it gives everyone the space and the opportunity to branch out and just be able to walk through without bumping into people,
Yeah.
I mean, I can appreciate that, some of the conventions they have in like hotels and all that type of stuff, to keep the cost low and everything. But I realized that in that cost, I got to deal with people and their body odor. I got to deal with the attitudes that come with the crowds and everything. People,
pardon me.
Yeah, people getting angry about waiting in lines, long lines, crowded lines, and all that type of stuff. And it's just like, the logistics mean everything when it comes to these events.
Yeah, certainly for the experience.
I'm glad that Hanny, is just dead set on doing convention centers versus hotel because it makes a very, very big difference. You get the same crowd, you get the same number crowd and everything.
Right.
It's just like, but it's spaced out. Yeah, it's spaced out, and and everybody is in good spirits and they're happy and they smell good and it's all that good stuff that comes with it, and that's what the main thing is for us. It's like I like that.
When is it? June, July?
July. It's in July, July 10th through the 12th weekend. But on the 9th, we have a customization class. Okay. So it's literally a 4-day weekend. And it's going to be exciting.
Yeah,
it's going to be exciting. A lot of fun.
Good. Yeah. What else is new, man?
So
how's my girl Sean doing?
Oh man, she's great. She's great. I was gonna bring her with me, but she had to work. So I'm at work right now.
There you go.
It's like there you go. So, but she's doing great. We just came off of Valentine's Day weekend, and we went to
treat her right.
Well, let's talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
So we had planned. She asked me what I want to do. I was like, well, let's go to dinner. Look. Okay, I'm gonna just put it out there. I ain't the most romantic guy when it comes to like Valentine's Day and all that type of stuff, man. Because I figure in my head, and y'all may disagree with me, but y'all may agree with me on this one. In my head, I'm good to you. I'm faithful to you. Mm-hmm. I don't have no issues.
I already got a job.
Yeah, I got a job. We pay bills. I'm taking care of you. I love you. I love on you as much as I think I can in the space that we are in, you know. And then with us both working from home and everything, we're around each other all the time. So it's like we got plenty of time together. We watch shows together. We do everything together, getting it in, all that good stuff.
Yep.
And it's just like, you know, when, you know, the one day a year where, you know, and it doesn't help that it's her favorite holiday of the entire year. Not Christmas.
Weird.
Not her birthday. You know, yeah. Valentine's Day. So it's just like, okay, all right. And I get it, you know, it's, and it's great, but you know, and it doesn't take it away from the fact that, you know, I love her and I, you know, I want to do everything, you know, for her to make her happy and all that type of stuff. But she asked me what, you know, you wanted to do. I was like, well, I wanted to take you out to dinner, you know, do all the normal stuff and everything. She was like, what do you think about going to Atlantic City? I said, okay, we can do that. And I was like, okay, so because we can still do dinner, we have a nice venue to have a good time and all that type of stuff. So come Friday, we were supposed to leave.
You bet we could just go to live.
Yeah. Hey, Bobby, you are in my head something heavy right now. But Atlantic City, the thing about Atlantic City for Sean is that it's a means to get away and out of Maryland.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And, you know, it's just like, okay, I you know, we can definitely
about
do that.
Dover, Delaware?
You know what? That's new. That's a new one for me. So yeah, because you know we also could have did what's the other place? It's in West Virginia.
Charleston, West Virginia.
Charleston. Yeah. There
you go.
There you go.
Rocky Gap.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I can list casinos for days.
There you go. There you go. But you know, so we were supposed to go Friday night. We didn't go because she got off work late. So we was like, okay, well, let's just go Saturday. We just go Saturday in the morning. So we woke up that morning. You know, did our usual Happy Valentine's Day and all that type of stuff. I was like, all right, when you're ready to leave, let's go ahead and roll. So she was, you know, just rolling slow and everything like that. And so ultimately, we didn't go Saturday. I ended up ordering breakfast from Denny's. I was just like, you know, don't want to cook. Let's just get some Denny's in.
Get yourself a little Grand Slam for Valentine's.
Yeah. The moon's over my hammy sandwich, and
That's the one.
Yeah. Hey yo, that was the romantic breakfast.
There you go.
Now, I've never had it in the morning.
What a Romeo.
Yeah,
yeah, 2 in the morning.
Yeah, I always had
Yeah.
it after 14 to 18 beverages.
Yeah, 2 a.m. I've had it.
And it's delicious.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is, man. Because I prefer the moons over my hammy over the Grand Slam, the Grand Slam sandwich. I was like, because you know I don't do sausage like that. It's just like sausage is high in sodium. It's just like, you know, okay, now I'm definitely over 50.
Yeah, for sure.
But so we ended up staying home and watching. They put all the Bond flicks. No. No, she ain't doing it. You know, I can barely get her to watch Transformers on given occasions. But we ended up watching because the Bond flicks are all on Netflix now.
Oh, okay.
And she was like, "Well, I never seen Spectre."
Okay.
And I was like, "Okay, well, let's chill and watch Spectre and everything, and then we'll go Sunday morning." So we'll just leave Sunday. And so I
feel like you're not gonna go.
I ended up falling asleep during the movie, and it got to be the evening, and she was like, "What are we doing for dinner?" First of all, and then I slept for like 3-4 hours on Valentine's Day. So it's like I fucked up.
House.
Yeah, I fucked up. So, but that's what Denny's breakfast do to you, man. You know, knocks you out.
Over my sleeping.
So we never really do anything for Valentine's because my wedding anniversary is the 19th. So we always just end up doing something. Like we're going away this weekend. We're going to go away. Just the two of us, which is like the one time a year we get to go away. Pizza from Andy's and
little shopping.
Little drinking, little
crazy
pizza.
rich Asians.
Some crazy rich Asians, you know, that are fucking decked out to the nines that I love to look at.
Okay.
We go to Tyson's like every year and like just shop and eat and drink and you know fuck and have a good time and
there you go.
But I've told these guys like one of my favorite things to do there, like these like incredibly wealthy Asians that go to Tyson's.
Okay.
I just like to watch them. Like just like how they put themselves together because it's so meticulous. Like it's like one of those things where like the devil's in the details. Like you know, the stud in their earring matches the same stud around the hole for their laces that are drawn through on their sneakers and shit. Like just the amount of attention that they put into their presentation that goes unnoticed widely, but like if you just sit and look at them, you're like, fuck, man, like every little thing mattered to, you know, and I'm in awe of it. You know?
Where is this? You said?
Tyson's.
In Tyson's? Okay.
Yeah. All right. At the, but we do both, but we usually stay at the fucking Ritz,
Gotcha.
You know, for the night. And, you know, we do it once a year. We only really get out once a year. Sometimes every now and then we can get out in July, but like, we usually only get out once a year, the two of us. Like, for our wedding anniversary.
That's what's up.
That's what's up. Anything else? Nerd weeks, you know, nerd life things going on?
So nerd life. I'm gonna start out. This is totally odd, but as far as my shows and everything is concerned, The Rookie is back on, and I love The Rookie, and Sean loves The Rookie, and you know that's with what is his fucking name? Nathan Fillion.
Okay.
And, you know, love that show. And, you know, just happy that it's back on TV. We're always into our Chicago shows, PD, Fire, Med, and Law and Order and all that good stuff. Yeah, man. As y'all know. So I was cool all the way up till Hasbro was like, hey, we want to apologize. We want to start this apology tour.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know.
What is that really all about?
Let me tell you. Okay. So Hasbro is like celebrating 40 years, their 40th anniversary of the movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, 40 years later, they say, you know, it was a bad idea to kill everyone's favorite hero, Optimus. And we like to say, we're sorry. Like 40 years later, fuck you.
Right.
Anyway, so, you know, but they're coming out. They call themselves. This is what they call the apology tour, and it's basically another wave of studio series figures. And all of that. So,
it's a marketing thing for
exactly. Yes, that's exactly what it is. So, they got and I literally covered this last night on ETR. So the figures they came out with was Sunstreaker, Wheeljack, ugly ass Astro Train.
Oh yeah.
Skywarp. Skywarp.
It's all right.
And you know, bunch of other characters, and one that they never done. What they did a Kranix from.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw that,
and it actually looks good. It looks very accurate to what it was. The way he transformed in the comic and all that time, because you know he didn't transform in the movie.
Right.
So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that one. And they also doing a Matrix of leadership and a life size Matrix of leadership that lights up. And then, you know, I don't know if it makes sounds. I don't think it makes sounds or anything, but it literally lights up and does the little flashing lights and blow up. And it has a charging port on the back of it to charge it up.
Sure.
And everything, USB-C. And you know. Yeah, it's a cool thing, and then you know they did this whole video package of fans being upset that Prime died and all that type of stuff, and then they do this whole what they call a hilarious bit when it comes to the whole thing. But you know, I'm looking at the whole thing, I'm just like, man, get the fuck out of here, you know. But yeah, I look at your characters and you know see what you're coming out and everything, and then you know at the same time also. MPG just announced that they're going to do a blaster, which I was excited about. The MPG line is not a line to be excited about in general to a lot of people, particularly to me. But I was like, I'm in on that blaster. I go ahead and you know.
I love this fucking thing.
Oh, the AMT Rodimus?
Yeah, like that's I love that fucking thing.
Oh yeah. I got one myself. Yeah. You know, it was gifted. I got one it was gifted to me by Rusty.
Okay.
And yeah, that was real cool. Rusty and the crew. Do You Even Transform, Bro crew.
Right.
That we're on. Shout out to Eric. Shout out to Scott.
How's he sounding on the mic these days?
Yeah. He sounds real good.
Yeah.
His mic sounds nice. Yeah. He said you hooked him up real nice. Yeah. That was cool. That was cool.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said,
Yeah, you sound a whole lot better now, bro. Yeah. So but yeah, and we're enjoying the show, enjoying doing the show and everything, and really excited about the things that we're doing. Oh, speaking of shows, this is including my Nerd Week as well. So we're introducing a new show on the Realm of Collectors YouTube channel called Metal Mayhem. Okay. This is a show focused on metal card bots. You heard of metal card bots? So metal card bots is a new Japanese line from a company called SamG.
Okay.
SamG is in partnership with Agabus, Hanny's company.
Shit.
And they are they're a company that has this line called Metal Card Bots. It's basically derived from a kids show. The kid,
aren't they all?
The demographic is age 4 to 9, 4 to 11.
Yeah, well, they try to say that to us too.
Yeah. But the toys are literally Transformers, and they have this gimmick where they have these eyes on the windshield, and think like Play School meets Transformers.
Yeah, I was thinking Lightning McQueen.
Yeah, there you go. That's even better. Yeah. That's even better. So they have a toy line that has actually caught the attention of the adult collector, and we are centering a show around it to promote some of the product.
Is it going to be weekly? It can't be weekly, can it?
No. It's bi-weekly. We're going to do a bi-weekly.
Damn, even that seems like a lot.
Yeah, because of the attention that it's actually gotten in the collector community,
it's really going.
It's really going, and so we was like, "Yo,
you got the keys to the castle over there these days, don't you?"
I do, and it's
how'd that go?
So it's going.
Let's spill the tea.
Well, okay. Well, it is going. You know, and shout out to Chris because he set me up. But I love doing this. I love doing what we're doing right now because it gives us the ability to expand the group and what we're doing. But the one thing I wanted to do a focal point on was partnering with other groups that are out there, because it's a lot of collector groups out there. Sure. You got Transformers ERC, you got the new group Transformers Third Party Kingdom, you have Transformers DMV. It's a lot of Facebook groups that are out there that got these clicks, and I'm focused on bringing them all together to be like, hey, we all love this hobby that we're doing. Let's just sponsor each other,
network,
and everything,
strengthen numbers.
Exactly. So and that's the thing. We all have our shows. We all do our thing, but collectively, if we come together and just form Voltron, basically. It makes it even greater because it makes it a bigger community. We have spaces where we can all get together, at your BotCons, your TF cons, all of that stuff, and just get together and just have a good time as adults, because it's not just about toys, because we have real life things that goes on in our lives, and we just like to get away and not have to think about
Transformers ERC. That's the customs group. Yeah.
Exclusives.
Sony's over there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good for you.
Yeah, shout out TM Reviews.
Yeah.
And loving the show that y'all two are doing too. Yeah.
It's funny. He has a weird way. For those that listen, we got a show called Like and Subscribe on Patreon where we talk about creating YouTube content and shit and ins and outs of it. But what's fun about that show to me is he has a weird way of talking to me about shit that sparks my memory on shit that I've forgotten about for fucking years. And I'm like, oh fuck, it's funny you say that. There was this fucking guy that fucking whatever the case may be.
That's
and
when you get the real tea.
It ends up being some good stories. And stuff,
Yeah. Love it.
All sorts of drama, from fucking Dime Chalk to fucking these characters that I've bumped heads with over the years.
I was shocked about the Dame Chalk thing.
Yep.
I was like, for real? I was like, okay, all right.
Yep. Him and I couldn't get on the same page.
Yeah. Right. Speaking of getting on the same page,
real quick before we do, okay, there's one thing about me which I'm grateful for. Everybody in this shit, my professional work, my life, my family. If I die tonight, everyone knows exactly where they stand with me. I have told everybody, like anybody who I've had a fucking problem with, I'd be like, hey, let me talk to you for a second, you know, and I've got it off my chest.
Yeah.
I don't know what people are carrying in regards to me.
Right.
But I don't sleep well at night because of childhood trauma. But aside from that, I sleep well at night.
Yeah.
You know?
There you go.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So I was watching somebody's we're gonna say TH. And then he did a, you know, top reviewers that he watches, and
Thomas Hoofy?
Yeah, Thomas Hoofy, that motherfucker.
Yeah. And he named you in the thing, and he was just like, shout out to Bob. I was like, really?
Did he really?
Yeah. It was just like, I was shocked. I had to rewind it just to make sure that I heard it right. Because he slid it back, and I was just like, he really did shout out. I was like, okay, so you changed your tune at this point. Yeah, but he did say y'all had disagreement. I was like, I don't even think y'all even talk,
dude. So like the thing with him, and I don't know. I could tell you where it went left.
Oh, I know. I already know.
Yeah. So this guy, he's another content creator.
Thomas Hoofy.
Thomas Hoofy. Yeah. And he used to write into Shattered Cast, which was a Transformers podcast I was a part of, and co-founder, you might say. And he started making YouTube content. Now, I didn't watch his YouTube content, but he wrote in. We always answered his questions. They were thoughtful questions, like no issues. Well, he started making YouTube content, and people were hitting me up left and right, like, hey, this dude is copying everything you do. You know, and I was like, and I would respond to them like, look, I know him. He's a cool guy, but you know, like I wish him the best, and you know, he'll be more successful if he finds his own lane. Yep. You know, then he asked a question on Shattercast. I addressed it on Shattercast, like the question, and then I was like, and Thomas, I'm getting a lot of word out there about you copying my blueprint, and my advice to you is just do your own thing. He never wrote again. Never wrote into Shattercast again. I never heard from him again until he dissed me on a fucking video or something, and then people were telling me about that, and then I was like, oh well,
fucking Hoofy.
I think their phone blew up that week, and it was just like, because I heard it, and I was just like, I said, I'm not gonna bother Bobby. Yeah. And they found out that everybody else did, and I was just like, and then I asked you, what was your take on it?
Well, and because I know him from before all that, like I know who he really is. I know his real name. I know like where he's from. I know a lot about him because I had contact with him before he started creating content, you know. And my thing with that, just like anything else, is like, let me take it off him for a second. Okay. There was a dude that was a co-host on a podcast. It was Good Morning Cybertron, but way later, right? So I used to be on Good Morning Cybertron. It's kind of how I got started in all this shit. And I left there over some disagreement, a fallout, you might say, which was the funny story. A lot of funny stories to that too, because this guy Scott who ran, that's kind of where Skullfest kind of came from. Is where, like, because I got on this podcast and I was like, man, I want to fucking chill in real life. Like, let's get together, you know. And I invited these people to my house I'd never really met. My wife was like, are you sure about all this shit? You know. So these people came, flew from California and shit, like to get together for a day or two, and everything was cool until it wasn't. And when the fallout happened, the dude Scott was like. And I'd met him now in real life, right? So I know your pedigree, you know? And he was like, Bobby, I'll never forget it. I have the world's longest fuse, but it is attached to the world's biggest bomb. And I was like, Scott, do you think there's anything in this world that you could do that would slightly intimidate me? And he was like, probably not. I said, probably not, Scott. So let's just leave all the bomb talk back at the house.
All right.
But anyway, their show like picked up years later, and I did a song, Chlorine, where I talk about like the history of everything where I'd at, and I just kind of fallen out with Adam. So it was like a history of my involvement in everything, and I got to theirs, and I had a line in there where I was like, because he was a vegan, you know, which, you know, I don't know, you wouldn't look at him and think vegan, but he was a vegan, and I said like he was vegetarian, he didn't want beef, which was also true, you know, like, and then they did a podcast, and on the podcast they talked about the video. And on the podcast, a co-host who I'd never met said, and then he had his wife looking like a whore in the video. So I was like, cool. And the thing is with that is like same thing with the Thomas situation is like one day everything that I say I'm comfortable with saying, but one day you might have to stand in front of me. Like it's possible that those stars align. I get out to conventions from time to time. The possibility of us crossing paths exists, and you got to stand behind what you said. You know, whether it's tomorrow, next week, or 50 years from now, you're going to have to stand behind those words.
And going after a man's queen is...
Especially mine, but I don't play about that girl, man.
Right.
But anyway.
And we don't play about ours.
She's such a lovely person.
She is. Like, she's the sweetest person on the
Why
planet.
would you... That's just like, why is she catching straight?
And would bend over backwards, so to speak, for anybody. Right. Like, you know.
Yep.
But
I tell you, one time, she scared the shit out of me, though.
Really?
Laura, she scared the shit out. Last year's Skullfest, as a matter of fact. I don't know if you remember this. We were out there, and then somebody spilled the drink on the carpet, and it was a red...
Down here.
Yep. And then I was like...
Scott. It was Scott M.
Yeah. I didn't want to say his name.
I'll say it.
But
I stay behind business.
I said, let me go upstairs and get some paper towels. And then Laura was in the kitchen. And I don't know why my body froze and was like, don't you ask her for those paper towels. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I was like, I just need a couple paper towels. She was like, what's wrong? I was like, I just need a couple paper towels. I gotta go wipe up something. And then she looked and she was like, okay, let's go downstairs. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck. I said, and then she came down and then we saw the thing and she was like, oh, okay, we just get it up.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
But my heart was like pounding.
Yeah.
And, you know, you couldn't even tell. I'm like, look, me, 6'3", 275 pounds, looking at next to this petite woman, and I'm scared shitless about the whole situation. It's just like, you know, I was like,
oh, that German in her.
Man, I'm not gonna get invited next year, man. I know it, man. I'm gonna have to buy her flowers or some shit. Like, we gotta get one. We gotta come here with 3 bottles of wine from now on. So
she knows how it happened.
Yeah, nah. But no, I say that to say, you know, Laura is absolutely great.
Yeah,
you know, I love her to death.
Super cool.
You know that. So, and you know, but yeah, we don't play about our women.
But back to it, I appreciate the shout out. You know, like I haven't seen the video or none of that, but I appreciate the shout out.
Yeah. But you know, my thing was, okay, did you just get cut by Bobby? I don't know, but it is just like, yo, because I'm just like, yeah, look,
I'm down.
I'm just like, okay, what happened? Okay, what happened in this? Because you know, I know the truth. I'm gonna just say that.
Yeah,
I know the truth, and it's just like, you know, when that came out, and it was just like, because I know that was centered around. I know that was kind of centered around him. And it was just like, okay, well, what's up with this? What is this end game for this? You know, I know he's shouted out some new podcasters and some old podcasters and all that type of stuff. But for him to mention that, not that I'm not a shit starter or anything like that, but I just, when it happened, it was just like, okay, where is this going? So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, because there's really no reason for him to be upset with me. I never did, you know what I mean?
Well, we all know that,
right?
You know,
but
it was just shocking. But anyway, but yeah, that happened, and it just threw me off. But but yeah,
but we were talking about you getting the keys to the castle. So so you know, obviously, like Dust and all them had it before, and now you seem to be like the guy over there. So how did that transition go?
You know, I'm not the guy. I'm just the guy that, you know, is kind of, you know, trying to keep things organized and keep everything focused. Because a lot of the stuff that we do is great stuff. Is you know, we got content coming out every week,
right?
And it's like, you know, we got alternating shows. We got some of the
we got some of the best people working with us on all of this. Yeah, a lot of good people. And shout out to every last one of them. I don't want to take a whole bunch of time doing that, but but it needed to have a focal point. Chris and I had a conversation one night, and I was talking about. We happened to talking about Realm. We was developing. We were talking about conventions, and this is how Realm Nation got started. We were talking about conventions and doing a convention that's themed around the realm and everything. He was like, "Man, Derek, I've been wanting to do this a long time, and we should definitely try to do that." So him and I just kept having conversations about it. And we kept putting things on the table. And it's like, well, let's do a Realm convention. And then we were calling it Realm Nation at the time, and we still call it Realm Nation. We are actively still trying to get that really done.
Right.
But it became a real stressful thing for Chris because of a lot of the stuff that he had going on personally
in real life.
In real life.
Yeah.
And I said, well, if you want me to, if you want to continue to roll with it, hey man, I'll pick up the slack, and we'll just keep going.
Yeah.
With it. And then he made the announcement at BotCon last year to everyone that Derek is, I'm giving him the key. He made this cool ass. It's like a Flavor Flav clock with this big ass chain on it, and it was absolutely cool. And I appreciated the gesture and all that type of stuff.
Cool.
But the one thing that I want to make clear is I am not the guy in charge of the entire realm. It's just that I've taken on certain responsibilities that enables me to keep everyone focused.
Gotcha.
On the bigger prize. So there's still a group that we all have to come together and be like, let's agree to do this.
A board of directors,
exactly. Yeah. So yeah, there's still that. So, but I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'm grateful for the fact that I'm grateful for the trust.
Yeah.
And doing that whole thing, and in this.
And I mean, don't sell yourself short. I mean, you are an organized person. You got your ducks in a row. Like you're a good choice for that role.
I try. I try.
So
but
obviously passionate about the shit.
Oh, absolutely, man. Because it's
capital F.
When
fan.
I got into this,
capital F fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Because I want to think that I take this absolutely seriously. There's a lot of responsibility involved in that, and it's not to be taken lightly.
Yeah.
I don't go around talking about, oh, I'm in charge, you got to do this and get it, because I know a lot of people that do that. You know, I've been in lead positions since I started my IT career. I've been in lead positions all the time, so. All that stuff comes natural to me to be able to, be in certain places, certain spots, and all that type of stuff.
Cool.
And it's one of the things that I believe Hanny saw in me when, I started working with him, and then I would do things with him, and then he's like, okay, well, and he would continue to elevate me in doing certain responsibilities and all that type of stuff, and it's just. It's an honor and a privilege to do the things that I do now in my life, because I didn't know, because first of all, I gotta shout out Sean for this, because I couldn't do none of this without her backing me up, because a lot of the stuff she had to be on board with.
She's a good girl.
Being okay with me doing. They're not
a dime a dozen.
No, absolutely not. That's why, when it comes to Sean, I don't play about Sean. Just like you don't play about Laura, I do not play about Sean. And I like to think that she knows that. Mm-hmm. And then, so we do everything together, Right. So this whole venture is no different from what I do when it comes to a lot of the things that I do. So big shout out to her.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm grateful for the opportunity, like I said. And and it's hopefully it's just going to get better.
I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
Farrell, what about your nerd week? How's your nerd week been?
Bathroom.
Yeah, by all means.
So, where do I start?
Movies.
Yeah, I don't. All right, so so I got an email.
Okay.
The other day that my passport has shipped.
Has it? Oh, is that how is it come in the mail?
Yeah.
I thought you had to go pick it up at the post office. What do I know about it? But yeah.
So, I mean, I guess you can pick pick it up, but they have to ship it to where you're going to pick it up from.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So yeah, so it shipped, and I think it's supposed to arrive today.
Really?
So yeah, so I'm super happy that I paid for expedited processing, and that it only took 4 weeks longer than the biggest number in the window of how long it would take
Yeah.
in the expedited processing. So that's cool. We've basically missed this window of time
Right. Right.
over there. So like March is way too busy for me. April is crazy. I'll be out in Indianapolis for a week.
Yep. So when are you thinking?
So I'm hoping to do November.
Okay. Thanksgiving indeed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanksreceiving, more like it. Am I right?
Whole lot of turkeys out there. Yeah, so I like before all the research I had done, as far as like pricing and, making sure the weather's good and not being there when there's a ton of weather, like I was trying to find that sweet spot of like not a ton of people, but also not the off season, good weather, not a ton of rain. So I have to do some more research to figure out when exactly in November is going to be good. But yeah, so back to saving,
Right.
Get that whole thing
Sure.
started up. And then, so I posted on my Instagram, my feral Instagram, because people have been sending me stuff like, hey, you can collect this now and talk.
Helldivers.
Helldivers.
Yeah, because they were announced at Toy Fair, and
Yeah.
I hit you up, and you were like, "I've already been hit up about it." I was like, "Oh, it's happening to you." this is how this goes.
So then I thought about it, and I was like, my other hobby that's a newer hobby is the old aquarium thing. And I've kind of like gone pretty into it pretty fast, right?
Yeah.
It started with like a fish that I had to adopt from some kids that couldn't
Take care of it.
couldn't take care of one. And then now it's like grown into this like 10-gallon tank. It's planted and has multiple
Temperature regulated.
temperature regular. I've got 2 heaters in it. You can
Yep.
flex me.
I will.
But so it's like it's kind of my personality where when I'm into something, I'm like really into it, really fast. So, it's like where before at work I'd be watching, whatever flavor is happening. Now I'm watching YouTube videos on aquarium sciences because I'm a fucking nerd like that.
Yeah, it sounds stimulating.
So I'm like, man, I need to get my nitrates down.
That's great.
So yeah, so I'm ordering some plastic at work so that I can make my own fish tank.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah, so I thought it'd be a cool thing to put in my shop. Not that I'm ever really going to have visitors at my shop. I don't want it to be that kind of shop. But if I did, they would see this cool 60-gallon fucking aquarium that I made.
Yeah. But if I did,
So it'll just be my aquarium at work, which
Right.
is going to kind of suck because that means they're going to have to go to work like 7 days a week. But whatever. I'll deal with it when we get there. Maybe I'll just put plants in there so I don't have to actually show up. But so I've been really into that. Having a problem with it right now.
with the fish.
Yeah, I crashed my cycle. So there's like without getting too into it. Fish create ammonia through waste.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Ammonia is bad for them,
Makes sense.
right? Binds and it prevents oxygen exchange in their blood.
Right.
So bacteria converts ammonia to nitrite. Nitrite is also really bad for them.
Right.
Then it gets converted by bacteria into nitrate,
Okay.
right? Nitrate isn't as bad, but it's not great.
Sure.
But nitrate is what plants use,
Okay.
right? So the whole planted tank thing is just you get good bacteria that creates or transforms waste into usable things for plants.
Plants.
Gotcha.
You know, so that's why I've added a bunch of plants and everything like that. So, but I accidentally crashed the cycle with changing a filter, and I changed it incorrectly, and it killed off a bunch of bacteria. So I've been having to do a ton of work to like do like crazy amounts of water changes and all that fun shit. So it's like what I did for like 4.5 hours yesterday.
Oh wow.
But yeah, so hopefully it comes back soon. I went out and bought some like seeded culture stuff so that I can like kind of get it back sooner rather than later. Instead
Right.
of, like going through fucking 90 gallons of water. So yeah, so I've been doing a lot of that recently. And then I started watching season 2 of Fallout.
Okay. I saw season 1.
I need to start that show.
How was it?
So I love season 1, right? And then season 2, the first episode or two, I was like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, I felt like we were right back to like square one where we're, they're asking more questions than they're answering,
Okay.
which annoys me, you know, because it's like we've spent an entire fucking season asking questions,
Okay.
right? Like an answer or two would be great. Right?
Yeah, that's how I felt with that other show, From or whatever it was. Like,
Yeah, well, so like Lost was notorious.
Right.
Right. They'd ask 12 questions every episode and then answer one
Right.
from the previous week. So I think the end of the season,
You got
you're
10 million questions, 5 answers.
what the fuck's
Yeah.
going on here?
Right.
But then like episode 3 or 4, it got fucking crazy, which was, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but it's been really good. So I watched up until episode 5 of that, and I finished Civil War.
He's been making his way through the Marvel movies for the first time.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
And
I thought you were talking about Fallout. I was like, oh, they had
Oh,
a
no,
Civil
no.
War. Okay.
Well, there's a Civil War in Fallout too.
Okay.
But yeah, so Marvel's Civil War.
Yeah.
Avengers Civil War.
Yeah.
This is Captain America.
Captain America
Captain
Civil
America
War.
Civil
Yeah.
One of the best ones so far.
Yeah, for sure.
If not the best one so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not.
It's one of the best ones. It's my number 3, but I don't fault anybody. Winter Soldier's my number 1.
Yes.
No, actually, Infinity War's my number 1.
Okay.
Winter Soldier's my number 2.
See,
Civil War's my number 3.
I think Civil War's better
I wouldn't argue it.
than Winter Soldier.
To me, it's like it's the difference between like an 89.5 and a 9 between the two.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, because Winter Soldier for me was that's where it really just
for me, it might have been like, oh wait, this is the first time we've gotten serious in this shit.
yes,
You know,
that's what it was. for
so
me.
it could have been like
Yeah.
just the change in tone and impact that it struck me at the time different. You know, but
Yeah, but the comic was better. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah,
Civil War. Yeah,
I mean, really, really good movie.
yeah.
The craziest. All right, so I'll start. And this is no notes off the top of my head.
sure,
Wanda actually made sense. Before that,
yeah,
who the fuck cares,
right.
right? And a crazy amount of power. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like an absurd.
And you haven't even seen. You haven't. I mean, like in the comics, it's insane. But like she's like an Omega level mutant. She's like
Yes.
one of the most powerful.
when
ones.
she put Vision through like 300 feet of
concrete.
soil
yeah.
and concrete, I was like, this bitch is busy.
Oh yeah, she can change the fabric of reality.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was cool. And then there was all right. So before I get into that, Peter Parker, the best version of Peter Parker.
Easily.
Easily. I am not a Spider-Man fan normally.
Right.
And then this one, and it might have to do a little bit with Marissa Tomei.
It's
little
definitely
bit
the hottest
there.
Aunt May we've ever seen.
You know, a
Yeah.
little bit there, but like definitely the most believable version.
Feels like a kid,
Yeah.
an insecure kid. You know, which
then
is the way
also,
he
like,
should
the-
feel.
Right. Right.
Like
a believable teenager.
Yeah.
yeah, but then also like the power that he has, right? It made sense. At first, I was going to be like, "What the fuck is Spider-Man going to do against Iron Man?"
Right.
What are we doing here? But then it made sense. So I appreciated that, like the fight scenes, like the airport fight scenes.
It's great.
It was fantastic.
Yep.
And then I really enjoyed Vision accidentally shooting down War Machine and then saying like, I got distracted.
Yep.
And Tony's like, I didn't think that could happen. He's like, neither did I. Which was
it's a good character beat.
Yeah, which is a kind of like you don't want to say like humanizing because he's not a human,
right?
But closer to
now we have imperfection,
a relatable
yep.
kind of being as opposed to the way he was before.
Yep.
So that was great. And then the end where Tony's working with him to get him back with the bionics and everything like that. That was pretty cool. The whole. I think they should have. I mean, they've spent enough time on the idea of like why Tony is for the pact and why
Captain is against it, and it makes sense.
It makes sense. I think they should have done a little bit more with it in the movie, in this particular movie.
Okay,
they set the stage for it.
Yeah,
the table was set, and then we skipped right to dessert. In this movie, so like. A little bit more of like, especially
thematically that could have gone on for 2 or 3 movies, honestly.
Yeah. But like the other characters, if you're really paying attention to them, you can kind of guess which side they'll be on.
Yep.
Like obviously the Hulk is 100% going to be against Stark in this world. But what's his name? Deadeye. Hawkeye. He could have gone either way.
Yeah.
So like. Them not explaining why he's against it, kind of like,
yeah, it's fair.
And I think that would have been an interesting, an interesting way to explore our own political landscape at the time. So even before all the stuff that's happening now, like the role of government, and
it keeps extending its reach, doesn't it?
But it's like. But really exploring that to like help people break it down from, if you're into politics, it's hard to see the forest for the trees because you're in it.
Yeah.
But if you can take it out into something else, like a comic book,
then
it can kind of help you break down some things and be like, oh, well, that is something that's important to me.
Yep.
And I didn't realize that this other thing that I'm supporting kind of goes against that. Maybe I need to figure out my own thoughts on this.
Yeah.
Which is what a lot of this stuff is good for.
Yeah. And I love like that, that moment, man, like, and I love the airport scene is incredible, right? Yeah. Like, it's like, that's the nut of that movie. But like that moment when Tony and Cap are fighting, which was a great fight scene, by the way, like the choreography of it and everything, like, and like that whole, like, I'm sorry, Tony, but he's my friend.
Yeah.
And like, it's for Cap, it's like, he's not happy about those circumstances, but it's really just that simple.
Yeah.
But didn't you like when Tony said, I thought I was
I thought I was there. So was I. Was I. Yeah. Yeah, I did. And like, fun story, real life story. So obviously with mopping, like the type of mopping that we do, we're in a union, and one time, as people know, Angry Gary is in the same union that I'm in, and he was running for a union position. And this other young lady was running for a union position as well. Her name was Rose, and is Rose, and they were both running for the same spot. And they were campaigning and doing all the, this is how the union stuff goes. And Rose stopped by to like sell us on her standpoints, which was, welcomed. I like that type of energy, honestly. But she came in and gave a spiel. It was me and Chucky O, who's also in the same union. And she was like, went through all good points, everything, laid it out, and she was kind of like, so like, I hope I can count on you or something along those lines. And I looked at her and I was like, I'm sorry, Rose, but he's my friend. Once again, she knew where she stood. Like, but I love that moment. Like it's so simple and powerful to me. Like
the other moment in that scene that I really liked was when what's her name, Hawkeye and
Black Widow
are fighting, and what's her name is like, you're pulling your punches.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Wanda.
Yeah, Wanda. Yeah, because it was like, you know, or even before that, they're like, are we still friends?
Yeah.
You know, like,
You're still gonna be friends after that?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
so that was an interesting thing. It's like you can see. I mean, obviously not huge fist fights where like fuel trucks are thrown and airports are destroyed, but like in friend groups like that, where like a rift happens and people are kind of like,
And
in
there's
the moment
there's a dividing line
of like, hey, I'm on this side, you're on that side, and then everybody's kind of like, I could say things,
right?
right? I could use our history of friendship where I could say something that I know will hurt you,
Right.
but is it worth it?
Yeah,
Because
dude,
I
like,
kind of still want to be friends
Because
with this.
we might be able to come back from this,
Yeah.
but we can't come back from that.
Right.
Yeah. You notice that thing with Wanda? That was built in Age of Ultron when they were first around each other, because Hawkeye was the one trying to get her to fight.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, she was like, you know, real timid and everything. And then, you know, when her brother was killed in that moment, that's when she, you know, was like, that's when she lost all control. And then, you know, because of that developed all the way into Civil War too, because she knew what he tried to do with her and trying to get her to fight.
Mm-hmm.
She knew his potential and what he was able to do in these particular moments. That's why she was able to point that out to him, and she called him out on it. She called him out on it because of that.
Yeah.
So that's where that came from.
Yeah.
And I like and that's the beautiful thing about another beautiful thing about the MCU.
Those first three phases.
Those tie-ins that come in from the original resources, and it makes sense later, and when it all culminates,
and the references and callbacks and everything.
Yeah.
That, like, there's just those first three phases, man. That up until Endgame, the amount of care that went into it for even the worst of the movies that are in that series, the amount of care is still unparalleled. Like, because we've never really seen anything like that, like to date, like this overarching, 35 movie sequence of stories that all sort of interweave into one another and end up at a final moment. Like, and the fact that they are able, even with some of the shortcomings, to pull it off as successfully as they did is a fucking monument of achievement.
Yeah. And there's a fucking CGI raccoon in there.
Is there a raccoon?
Raccoon.
Oh, CGI.
It's true. Another achievement.
Yeah.
How do you weave that?
And a tree.
Yeah, and a tree. Yeah. So the next high point is Infinity War. And then Endgame is good too, but there's just like anytime you start getting into like some of the elements that are story devices of that movie, anytime you start to dip your toes into those waters, it always comes with problems and
So like I enjoyed the Black Panther character.
Mm-hmm. In Civil War specific, he's amazing.
Yeah. It's a great
introduction
to him.
Yep, I agree.
So
he was perfect.
It's a great introduction of Wakanda in general.
He was fucking perfect for that role.
Yeah.
Like one of the most well-casted characters of Marvel, which I feel like is not as strong casting-wise as like what DC did. Like I feel like Cavill's like perfect and like, Wonder Woman was perfect and Harley was perfect and like, but T'Challa was like one of the best cast, like the kind of like nobility and royal elegance that he carries along with a very like down to earth demeanor. Like there's a subtlety to that performance that's really quite good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And so I don't feel like we got a ton of backstory on Wakanda though.
You will.
I'm saying from Civil War.
No, but you get a little bit of introduction with his father and the technology and blah blah blah. So.
Because that is basically helping you understand how he got the mantle of Black Panther, because he wasn't Black Panther in Civil War. He had to become that.
Right.
His father was a Black Panther, before that. And it's like, when you see the Black Panther movie, you begin to more understand how he is being challenged even in that. So, because I believe Black Panther is the movie that you see after Civil War. Wait, let me think. No, you see
Doctor Strange.
He's watching it.
Black Widow movie.
He's watching it. Okay. So you're talking the same shit chronologically.
I think it is Black Widow.
Yeah,
Black Widow,
which I think you can skip. But
No, there's actually a couple of pieces in there that you have to catch in order to understand some of the stuff that happens in the fourth phase.
Lowercase h. Well, so I'm not even. My goal with him is to get him to end game.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. If he wants to continue, then yes, then Black Widow becomes more important. I agree. But I'm not sure.
It's not important in that first phase.
In that first 3 phases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the
order.
Yeah.
This fucking Disney app is terrible.
Because it gets, I would say Black Widow movie becomes important when you start getting into the series, the Disney series.
Yeah, which is
Hawkeye.
And I'm going to have him skip all that shit too.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Just because I don't, this isn't his bag. So like, I don't want to burn him out. And like those shows, they suck, dude.
Oh, well, yeah. Like, I mean, the only series that I actually enjoyed was the Falcon and Winter
So I think that's the best of the Disney ones.
Yes.
I think the best one is Daredevil 1, Daredevil 2, and Punisher 1.
Yes.
But like
Punisher, absolutely.
Yeah, Punisher's the best one I've ever seen. Punisher's the best superhero show I've ever seen.
One. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but it's more rooted in reality, and you know, it feels right for television.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
So we got Black Widow, Black Panther, Spider-Man, Homecoming.
Okay.
Yes.
Doctor Strange.
Okay.
Thor.
Okay.
Ant-Man.
Which Thor? Oh no, Thor.
Okay.
Dark World.
Ragnarok.
No, Ragnarok.
No, Ragnarok. Yeah, Ragnarok. Yeah.
Okay.
Ant-Man and Wasp.
Okay.
Infinity War.
Okay.
Yep.
Endgame.
So it's a rough stretch here, buddy.
Yeah.
It's a rough stretch, but but then you get arguably the best movie out of the whole thing.
So I'm hoping that Spider-Man is good.
It's fun. It's good fun.
Like if it keeps in that same vein.
It's not amazing, but it's not it's not spectacular Spider-Man, nor amazing Spider-Man.
I'll be happy if
or astounding Spider-Man.
different than all the other Spider-Man movies. Because I've hated them.
Yeah,
It's Build-A-Bear Spider-Man, basically. And the reason why I say that is because, you see him come on the scene, but you have to still build his character. He's trying to understand his place in Tony's world. He's trying to he's trying to make Tony happy. And he's trying to get in places where, he's trying to make decisions that is going to be like, get him even more noticed by Tony. So it's like, the whole movie, he's like, at least I felt like Peter Parker is like, what can I do to make it that I deserve this suit that he gave me? What can I do? How can I prove to him that I deserve this suit that he gave me and to keep it? Because in that movie as well, I mean, I'm not going to get too much away to it, but it comes to that point where he has to, where he's going to be graded, and it's like, where do you go from that point? And that's what that movie.
One of the gems of that movie is fucking Keaton is in it.
Okay.
And
yeah,
he's always pretty easy to watch. But yeah, it's you have a lot of kind of fun romp movies ahead of you, but then you do get the biggest payoff.
So I think that the goal is going to be to get through 3 of them.
Yeah, don't burn yourself out because you got you're headed towards a lot of mediocrity.
Yeah.
So I think 3 of them is going to be the goal, depending on when we record next week.
Some are fun, even like Ragnarok. Like I think Ragnarok kind of sucks, but it's also very fun to watch.
Okay.
So there's
the only problem is because I have adult onset ADHD.
Sticking in there.
yeah.
It's like if it's not grabbing,
Right.
I'll watch it. I'll finish it and be like, I don't know what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
I'm excited on your journey. You're making me want to go do it.
He's
again.
actually
It's
been
like,
talking about it has made me want to go back and read some of the comics, which I haven't cracked the spine of in years.
If you have not read Civil War,
It's a good one.
Civil War was amazing.
House of M, I wish we talked about with the No
House
More
of M
Mutants.
too. Yeah. House of M, Avengers versus X-Men. Yeah, that.
Well, the whole reason I'm doing this is so that I don't have to watch Clone Wars.
I I keep getting tricked into trying to watch Clone. I just
It
actually,
sucks. It fucking sucks.
It sucks.
Now,
It sucks. It sucks until it becomes really good, though.
I know. Everybody, it sucks until this 47 hours in. There's a scene.
Yeah.
No, but it's not a scene. It's not a scene.
It's 5 seconds long.
No, so
and
that's-
it makes everything.
That's not it. That's not it. It's like it sucks for 47 hours,
Yeah.
and then the other 30 hours are really good.
Yeah.
you
I know. I'm playing.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
like you know what it's like? It's like all right. So you meet a girl at a bar, right?
I like it already.
She's attractive.
Oh, who gives a fuck about her? But what am I drinking?
She's smart. She's funny. You're how could this be? She can park. I'm kidding. But she's like you're having this like, oh my God. And then you
Am I in Thailand?
No, that's funny though. So you start talking, you start dating, and then the moment comes, tonight's the night, you're going to seal the deal, right? And before it happens, she's like, I'm a virgin. And you're like, so look, it's going to suck for like 47 times. But then by the end, it gets to getting good. That's sort of what it's like. After a while, after that series gets broken in, it becomes very, very good.
Wow.
But you got to be super committed to it.
Right.
Yeah, because
know?
I watched Bad Batch, and that was the series that I watched, the Star Wars series that I watched that I was committed to.
And that ain't the one.
That ain't the one I know, but because somebody has said to me that I only enjoy Bad Batch because I didn't watch Clone Wars.
So you don't know how good it can be.
Yeah, right. So it's like, okay. And then Andy was trying to, because Andy
You didn't take that?
tried to get me into, he was telling me, he said, look, these are the,
Irish Andy?
yeah, Irish Andy. He was like, you need to watch this episode. He gave me a list. He said, make sure you watch
Yeah,
these
like the
first
required reading.
before-
I did the
yeah.
same for him. Hold on
And
one
then-
second. And I think that's enough. That's enough Clone Wars talk as it is. If anybody wants to talk more about Clone Wars, there's a ton of episodes that you can watch. Anyway, anything else in your week? I don't have much on mine either.
I don't think so. Fallout, MCU,
Passport.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know. So I don't know how many people give a shit about the whole Thailand thing. Like, it kind of like,
I think people are looking forward to the stories at least.
yeah. So I don't know. I'll put some more stuff on the Instagram as I'm researching it. It has been interesting to see like who's been following that.
Yeah.
Because it's like Instagram is great at recommending pages to people.
Right.
So like my dad started following it.
That's great.
And like he knows about this and like I have to like kind of like forget that I'm saying
the things that
some things.
Does he listen?
I don't know.
Oh wow. What's up to you if you are?
So I don't know. So I don't know how much like I'm just gonna pretend like he doesn't.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
And then
What's funny about me? Like my dad's known about it since the beginning. Has had no interest in ever hearing what the fuck I got to say about it. He's just like, once a year is fine to talk and catch up with what's going on with you. I don't need to know.
I've called him this year.
No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. He answered my call.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't do much. We recorded Tuesday, Wednesday. I can't remember anything out of the ordinary. Oh, Thursday we went to we must have recorded Wednesday, Tuesday. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
We recorded Tuesday.
Okay, so Wednesday night I went to the Nine Inch Nails concert with my kids and my wife. I went with Jaina back in September, but it was such a good fucking show that I felt guilty for not taking everybody else. So I took them back. I do have this like this little.
Was it as good the second time?
Yeah, it arguably better.
Nice.
Well, because they were in DC, so like. With everything going on in the world, like they did, I'm Afraid of Americans, the Bowie record and everything. Like it was fucking cool. But let me play this like one video that I got. I like lived in the moment, and like didn't get like a ton of pictures or video or any of that. And like, I'll be honest with you, like kind of regret it. But this is when Head Like a Hole came on, which my baby loves, and like she was singing along to it. So, like it's so insane.
It's amazing how many, like, she just never forgets lyrics.
yeah. So that was good. I went down there with my buddy Mark, who grew up next to my grandma. And he was supposed to. It was actually kind of unfortunate because he was supposed to take his niece, I think, and as a result, we just got our tickets separate because it was too much to try to get 7 tickets together. So like, but then like his niece ended up like not being able to go, so it was just him. So like we probably could have got 6 tickets had I known, and he ended up getting like general admission. So he like went down in like the pit, you know what I mean, and like did the show by himself, you know. And I felt so terrible, but I mean he didn't have any complaints. But he enjoyed the show. We went to his house, got to meet his wife and kid, which is cool because like my childhood friend, and like he has a whole family now, and I've never met him or anything, you know. So that was cool, and like. So it's another like just a pizza story, right? So he's like, hey, there's a pizza place down the street from me. When you guys get here, I'm going to get a couple pizzas for us. It's called Vachi's. And I was sitting there for a minute and I was like, man, that sounds familiar. So then he sends a picture of like, or like a Google map thing of it, and it shows the picture of it like in the link and I was like, that looks like what I thought it was. So I texted him, I was like, do you live close to the zoo? And he was like, right down the street. And I was like, this pizza place is great. And he's like, I know. And so like the last time my baby like loves animals and shit. So like we go to the zoo all the time. And like the last time we went, we got pizza from this place and we were all like just sitting outside like, holy fuck, this is good.
Is this the place that you say that when you retire?
Yeah.
That you're going to go have a pizza?
Yep.
And then go
sit with the apes.
Yep.
My plan is every morning after I hang out with some of the guys in the morning, if that's still feasible, to go get a slice of pizza and a coffee and sit with the apes in the ape house at DC Zoo and do my puzzles after I retire for like.
Oh, you talking about the National Zoo?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's like this place called Vachi's right there, but it's fucking great. It's a heavy sauced pizza.
Okay.
But it doesn't make it bad. And it's and the sauce is on top of the cheese, so it's interesting. But it's very, very good. And he treated, which was kind of, we were supposed to bring wine and we forgot, so we felt like complete fucking bums. But whatever, 5 family members, it's a lot to juggle. So, and they were understanding. So I did that, and then I had to work the next day. I learned something about myself now. Like I'm too old for that. I'm officially too old to be going out all hours of the night and then showing up for work the next day. So I will not be doing that again.
Going to work or?
Yeah. I'll bang out or, you know, like, because I was there at work after having 3 hours of sleep, you know, and I was like, I'm not myself. Like I felt off. I was like even things like just like almost like delusional, like tired. You know, I was like, we would go, you know, get the mopping van ready, you know, and then I'd come back in and I'd be like, man, I know we just did that, but I don't remember doing it today, you know? So I was like, oh, you're just too old for this shit. Like, and then other than that, we had a pretty good weekend. Fucking Valentine's Day, hung out, partied, listened to music. I ended up getting in trouble. I can't talk about it on a public platform, but I'll tell you immediately afterwards. But ended up getting a little bit of trouble. But it was like a little playful trouble, a little serious trouble, and it's a great story. But because this is available to everyone, it's just too risky. Because it could cause it's like it's a little crack, you know, but it could fuck the whole foundation up, you know. Nothing to do with Laura and I. It's just that Laura would be, if the foundation cracks, it's going to be on me and ultimately on us.
It's all good,
you know.
It's all good.
But anyway, it was cool, and then that's it. And just getting on the other thing I'm working on. So I'm still working on this photo project, but now I'm working on all the old shit, right? Like stuff from my family from from immigration paperwork to fucking all this other stuff. Like, it's fucking cool, but
Hey, don't say that too loud now.
yeah, facts. But like, we were, it's funny because like some of the stuff, like whether it be documents from my side of the family or her side of the family, or like, I'm like, man, I don't know what this is. I don't know where it is. Like, I have no fucking clue. And like, I've been putting it into like Google's AI, which I know is like environmentally like irresponsible, but like, I'm going to be done soon.
Fuck that water.
Yeah. But like some things I'm just like, man, like it'll be like my grandparents like hanging out in front of a building, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Yeah. I just drop the picture in. They're like, this building is on 707 Bond Street at such, and I'm like, fuck, and like they're like probably during the years of this to this, given the, and I'm like, fuck, man, like it's just been able to solve so many questions that like I'm too deep in now to stop, but I'm using it sparingly. Like I am sending the pictures to the only family that I have, like my aunt and my dad, to see if they got it. Like, do you have anything on this? But they're both very little help. So, it's just been me and Google AI. And that's it, really, for me. All right, so let's get into some notes. Not a whole ton, but R.I.P. to Robert Duvall, man.
I didn't even know he was sick.
Yeah, fucking legend.
He's 95.
Yeah, it's a good run.
Yeah,
it's a good run.
Very good run.
Can't say too soon.
About 25 years too long for me.
Yeah, I hear you.
Maybe 30.
I remember when who's that guy? I'm not trying to be disrespectful, I swear. Jimmy Buffett. He died last year, a year before, or something. He died recently.
Yeah, and
a mutual friend of ours put up a Facebook post like "gone too soon." I was like, wait a minute. I was like, look, I'm not a fan of his music, but I don't wish death on anyone.
No.
But I mean, Kurt Cobain gone too soon.
Yeah.
Like Pop Smoke, Tupac, Biggie, gone too soon.
Yes.
Jimmy Buffett,
it kind of went
gone sort of an appropriate time.
Statistically probable time.
Yeah, so
it doesn't mean that we can't be sad and listen to his music and celebrate his life and all those sorts of things, but gone too soon? Not really. But Robert Duvall, any roles stand out for you with him?
So ones that stand out for me is two. The movie where he was I think he was a judge, and it was him and Robert Downey Jr. I can't remember the name of that one, but he was Robert Downey Jr. played Robert Duvall's estranged son, and then he came in there because Robert Downey, RDJ, was a lawyer, and
he was the judge.
He was a judge, but he was on trial for something, and then Robert Downey Jr. was going there to make sure he was all right, and he had this shitty lawyer who was trying to help him lawyer.
Interesting.
And then it ended up being a really good movie, and it was just like, I just can't remember the name of it, but the other one that stands out to me is Gone in 60 Seconds. He was in that.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Yeah. So, but I know he's had more prominent roles. He's had a lot of prominent roles in
for me,
movies and
it's
shows.
Godfather.
Yeah,
like Godfather's always going to be that standout.
I can't talk about Godfather.
Why?
Y'all gonna ridicule me.
Why?
Because I haven't seen it yet.
None of them?
I haven't seen none of them.
Oh, dude.
I still haven't sat down and watched it. And my sister teases me all this because my sister religiously watches all 3 Godfather movies every year around Christmas time.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, well, just come over and watch it with me. I'm like,
Oh, that movie's called The Judge.
The Judge. Okay, yeah. Okay. So yeah, I knew it was along that line. But yeah, see that, check that movie out. It was actually pretty good.
Well, yeah, like what you just watched something recently that I was like, man, you watched that? What? Oh, Spectre. James Bond or whatever.
James Bond, yeah.
No. Turn that shit off and watch The Godfather.
Yeah, right.
and then watch Godfather 2. The third one you can probably skip, but the first.
Yeah, a lot of people say that.
Yeah, like
really?
I appreciate the third one.
Okay.
But I understand why people don't like it. I like the third one.
Okay.
But like if somebody was like, that movie sucks, I would never debate it.
Oh, okay.
Because I totally get it.
Okay, so it's like watching all the Rocky movies. You could say you could skip Rocky 5.
Well, yeah, or even like Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like if somebody was like episode 1 sucks, I'd be like, yeah, I get it, man. I like it, but I get it. But the second Godfather it's one of those where I just talked about this last week, but it's just one of those few movies where the sequel's better than the original. Like it juxtaposes Michael Corleone is Al Pacino is the main character. It juxtaposes his rise to power power with his father moving from Italy to America and sort of getting himself set up. Okay. So like the two stories are intercut and they kind of mirror each other, and like it's a beautiful movie. Like really well done.
Yeah.
And Apocalypse Now is the other one that stands out.
That's the one that
yeah.
The other one that I like that he's in. I'm not sure. I like the movie because of him. Falling Down.
Oh yeah, that's great
with Michael Douglas.
Yeah.
Wait, he was in that?
Yeah, he's the cop.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's because
the cop who's retired.
Michael Douglas was the one that you know he lost his shit and then was
right. But Duvall is the cop who's retiring.
Right,
like that's the last case.
Right. Yeah. That was a good. Was a good one too. Damn, how did that fall off my radar?
So rest in peace, man. Like, thank you for the work and thoughts to family, friends, and fans, etc. We'll skip the Toy Fair stuff. You talked about all that last night. I just wanted to talk about Helldivers, really. The only thing that I saw, and I haven't dove deep into the Toy Fair stuff, the only thing that I saw that I was like, oh, fuck, I'm in on all this shit, is the McFarlane Toys Image comic stuff, like Savage Dragon, Shadowhawk. Like, I'm in. It's got me.
Yeah.
It's got me.
Like, somebody also did the Expanse figures, too.
Chris will be happy about that.
Yeah, we were talking about that last night. I was like, yeah, we got to show Chris this. So, but yeah,
it's Bobby's favorite show.
Yeah, but that Savage Dragon looks dope.
It does. Looks perfect.
Yeah.
You know, so like I'm excited about that. Like
Shadowhawk.
I got to get that Pit figure that I just looked at recently. Like they say it's expensive as fuck now, but I don't give a fuck. I got to get it. But I'm excited about getting Image stuff. Yeah. You know, it's like the last frontier for me. The other thing I had on here is the Mandalorian Grogu trailer.
Yeah, I mean,
I hate it already.
Really?
I hate it already. I hate the fuck out of this movie already. But I did like that it like kind of feels like a Budweiser commercial. You know what I mean? Like the horses running and like you know, when it's just you and your buds, grab a cold one. You know, like
I feel like
it's you and your baby Yoda.
Yeah.
When it's you and your little gremlin and you're just out in the snow.
You can't handle reality. Just get drunk.
Right.
Yeah.
You think they make these trailers now where they make the movie look dumb, but it actually ends up being a good movie?
So I haven't seen a good movie since Oppenheimer.
Oh yeah, you've been talking about that one for months.
Yeah, like my thing is like I'm just not seeing good movies anymore. Like I'm sometimes watching them. But like the last, so I'm excited to see this He-Man movie. I don't have high hopes.
Me either.
I'm excited. I am excited to see this Mario movie, and I do have high hopes. I will watch this Grogu movie, and I'm sure I'm going to hate it. I'm absolutely positive. And I'm excited to see Doomsday, but I'm very scared about it because like I think I'm either going to love it or hate it. I don't think I'm going to walk out of it saying it was fine.
I concur with that because I've had those mixed emotions too, based on everything just being just out of whack, or you know, everything just being just crazy since Endgame.
Yeah,
you know.
So like with trailers though, a lot of these movies, I feel like they don't even give a shit about the trailers anymore. They're not putting any effort into them.
Right.
So like the stuff that has a lot of material already produced, they're just expecting you to watch it.
Yeah, which is odd because the numbers aren't reflecting that.
Right, but
you know what I mean?
I feel like when they go through the budget, they're like, all right, we got $438 for the trailer, so make that happen. You know, like it's
like anybody could do that. Like I got a nephew who's an intern.
He'll do it for just tickets to the movie.
Yeah, right.
Like, well, $438 is a lot of money for popcorn. But,
yeah, right.
But yeah, I mean, like, I can't remember the last like amazing trailer that I saw for like a one in a catalog of
like almost like a blockbuster type.
Yeah,
like. Yeah, I really, and I think the last time that I ever walked out of a movie going to I'm excited about this fucking Troy movie, whatever, you know what I mean, the Nolan Trojan Horse movie.
Yeah.
Iliad.
Yeah.
Or Odyssey.
Odyssey, yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Odyssey, yeah.
But that's halfway, just because the last time I walked out of a theater thinking to myself, like, fuck, I just experienced something, was Oppenheimer.
Right.
You know, like, and that dude just, I think he's a genius. It doesn't mean I like all of his stuff, because I'm indifferent on some of it, but
right.
I understand that he is brilliant, you know?
Yeah, he is.
But yeah, this movie, I mean, it doesn't give you anything. The ride in the snow with the Tauntauns, having a cold one with Grogu, and you know, and it was like, it was fun and campy and friendly, and you know, and all the things that I hate. So I was like, I'm not interested. I'm gonna see it, but I'm not interested. Let's see what else there was in there. The Spider-Man Noir trailer dropped over the
That
past
actually
week.
looked cool.
It looks interesting.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why we have to have Nicolas Cage in it.
I mean,
I think that's half the fun of it, honestly.
yeah.
I hope.
Yeah.
He's
a nut.
because he was Spider-Man Noir in the
Spider-Verse or whatever.
Spider-Verse, yeah. So yeah, naturally you wouldn't want to see him doing that too. But I don't know. That's probably one of those ones I'm going to wait to come out on.
Well, it's coming. It's
HBO Max.
It's direct to Prime, isn't it?
Is it?
Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
Made it.
Oh, so I'm gonna see it for free anyway. So yeah,
Well,
yeah.
You know,
Free.
$130 a year.
Free is yeah. Free is such a relative.
Yeah, for sure.
For subscription
additional
services, yeah. But you know,
For no additional.
No additional money.
I'm paying for this, but I also paid to watch that too, so it's pretty even. So.
Yep. Yeah, I think it looks interesting.
I'll watch it.
I'll watch it. And then the other trailer is the Supergirl trailer.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Talk about it.
All right, so this is the girl from House of Dragons. Is playing Supergirl.
Oh, I didn't even put that together.
Yeah, and the way they had her in the Superman movie, the last part of the movie, which explains Krypto, I don't like that tie-in with her being the drunk Kryptonian, the drunk party Kryptonian, and then having this whacked out dog and left it with Superman to watch while she goes do whatever she was going to do. I'm really interested to see how this movie plays out. Now, I will say that I am excited that we're going to get a Lobo in this movie in Jason Momoa, because I think he's going to play the hell out of that role, because I liked him as Aquaman. He was surprisingly good as Aquaman, the way they did that change. They did that characterization of Aquaman. But
I liked him as Aquaman in the Snyder Cut.
Yes. But
I didn't necessarily like him in the Aquaman movie or in the Justice League.
I liked him in the so of course the Justice League Snyder Cut, the 4-hour joint, that's
definitive.
Yes, absolutely. But
not a whole lot of revisions need to be done on that.
But the first Aquaman was okay. The second Aquaman, I was just like, anyway. But I really think that he's gonna pull Lobo off.
He would have been a better Lobo to begin with.
Yeah.
I agree.
I know he petitioned to be Lobo.
Yeah,
he's been petitioning for a long time to be a Lobo, and everybody wanted a Lobo character in the Superman movie. But you know, we got what we got.
Yeah.
So
I don't think it looks awful.
I just don't like Supergirl.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know.
I'm not excited about it just because I'm not confident in the direction that they're going. I'm not a huge James Gunn fan. I'm not his work just doesn't necessarily impress me a whole lot. But I didn't like the fucking Superman movie a whole lot. I
didn't either.
Yeah, but I
did like Mr. Terrific in that joint though.
Yeah, I think a lot of the supporting cast was actually cooler than Superman. But anyway, it was just I don't know. I think that looks like this to me was a fun, enjoyable trailer of a movie I'll probably hate. You know, is how I
the
felt.
trailer more than the movie.
Yeah. I was like, oh man, that was worth every 30 seconds of that.
That's also the benefit of it. Is it's only 30 seconds.
Exactly.
I mean, I just didn't get it. It's like, you know, and then it doesn't help on top of the fact that Supergirl as a franchise piece in general throughout the years has just been an utter failure.
on every aspect, whether it's from the first Supergirl movie all the way to the TV shows, where like Smallville. Yeah. I mean, Supergirl has just been a failure across the board in its representation of that character. So hopefully this movie does something with it, but if it doesn't, then it's just going to be another failure of Supergirl in some sort of media.
So the issue I have with Supergirl, and remember that the only exposure I've had is the few times that the character is in one of these movies.
One of these movies that you've seen.
That I've seen.
Yeah.
So the part that I thought was the best about Superman was the reason he has humanity is from his upbringing.
Correct.
Right. So they've created this Supergirl character who is like a modern day party girl without giving you any reason to believe any part of her is human. Any part of her character is human.
Right. That she wouldn't just come here as a god.
Right. So like, how do you get angsty teenager if you're a god?
Yeah. And you didn't have the quote unquote, like Western experience of.
Right. So it's like that part just feels shoved in there.
Yeah.
We're making a movie for teenage girls so they can be included in the superhero world. And we're just going to shove this like angsty teenage girl mentality into, I mean, in my mind, a female superhero like that would be a complete fucking bitch, right? Like, could you imagine a woman with that much fucking power?
Yeah.
Like, holy shit!
Yeah.
And
it would be terrifying.
And not and to be fair, not a woman. A teenage girl,
But to make her this like
I can tell you, I live in the house with
soaking up
teenage girls, and they can be a burden with no powers.
right? But just like this whole like running off to soak up, a red sun, or
Yeah.
It's just kind of like whatever. Like I don't believe it. It doesn't fit for me.
Yeah.
Pharaoh, from now on, you're my make it make sense guy. So every time I go to watch a movie, I'm gonna go ask Pharaoh if he's seen it first. And I want him to analytically explain it to me what he felt like. That's how I feel every time I hear an opinion from you.
Well, I like watching movies with him, and he'll pause and ask questions. And like sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, great question. So the reason why that is da 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 da, and he'll be like, okay, and I'll go back, and then sometimes I ask questions. I'll be like, because it's comic book. And like just have fun with that part. Just have fun with that part.
Just allow it to be.
Yeah, that's what's up.
And then I don't think we have any questions this week. I'll double check.
So if somebody were to have asked a question,
That's
how
a
would they?
perfect question.
You can email us at nerdrageradiomail@gmail.com.
So yeah, I don't know. It says it's downloading 5 messages. I'll give it a second to see if it generates anything. But there is in those comics, they have explored her like kind of like becoming an American girl, because she does come here as a teenager. Like her ship gets lost. She gets sent off Krypton the same time as Superman, but she gets like lost in space and like etc. You know what I mean? And like ends up in here, and they investigate. Like there's been different iterations of that. My favorite one is she lands like in Gotham River or whatever, and like Batman, Batman's trying to like run tests on her and everything else. And Superman's like, "It's my family," and he can quiet you. Like this is a fucking goddamn alien on the loose. But and then like as she warms up to the situation, I think it was actually so in this comic it's right behind Derek's head actually. It's Jeff Loeb wrote it, Michael Turner did the art. I've talked about it before, but they're not sure what to make of her, and they end up dropping her off at the end when she like kind of saves the day and earns their trust a bit, but they're still not 100%. So they're like, well, where can we take her to learn like discipline and responsibility and whatever? And they take her to Themyscira and like leave her with the Amazonians to like train her. And like
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that was cool. But like another thing that's cool about that scene in particular is Like, of course, like they're there, and like no man is supposed to be on Themyscira, right? So like Superman, of course, is like he's like just floating like inches above the ground, like just respecting the culture and the rules. Batman's just having his way where they're walking around, leaning on shit, like fucking, you know, it's just pretty fucking cool. My email shit has been. I think I might have fallen victim to the last like Apple.
Oh yeah, let me. Yeah, I don't have that problem.
Yeah.
Either,
You know.
Yeah, well, I think like you know, like the old like adage of like, you know,
Oh, there it
Right
is.
there.
Emails.
Yeah.
yeah, Apple does the update and then it fucks your phone up and you got to buy a new phone in order to properly use the update. So I think I think this most recent one finally got me, and I've had this phone for a long ass time and it was running like a champ before this last update. But it says like it's downloading 5 messages, but let me see if I can bring it up somewhere else. I'll pause this just for a second. I just don't want to like stop the show. This fucking shit finally downloads and there's like 2 questions.
Yeah.
Yep. So anyway, I finally got my phone to do. It looks like I'm gonna have to get a new phone. Although I did restart it and it came up pretty quickly, so maybe I'm okay. I'll give it a week or 2. But Derek, I want to thank you for coming out. You know, we've been down and thank you to everybody that's been coming out recently to like lend a helping hand and all that shit. It is appreciated. It's always good to catch up with you and get your point of view. And I do appreciate your point of view on stuff.
Anytime, man. I appreciate the bat signal.
Absolutely. And of course, shout out to Joe and Chris, who are both on assignment. Joe should be back next week. Shout out to Marilyn Phil on Twitter and our notes. And shout out to Dante on Facebook. And with that,
Moist thighs.
Oh, shit. I literally had it. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Hold on, ready?
Tingy tangy testes. I had that. Yes. Tingy tangy testes.
tight dick player.